first chapter, which is called ratio, proportion and indices logarithm. Now we are going to start ratio first. Okay. So first class is what all about ratio. I am requesting everyone to like open your book and make it side. No problem. Just first we need to understand what is the ratio. See, what we need to understand first. देखो क्या होता है. What is a ratio? Suppose how many pen I have in this hand? Let's say 3. हाँ 3 है. देखो मैंने अलग अलग कर दिया. 3 है. 3 दिख रहे हैं यहाँ पे. And we have C है. 2 pen दिख रहे हैं यहाँ पे. Correct. So my right hand side, right hand consists of 2 pen, and my left hand is consist of 3 pen. Suppose I told you guys how many pen I have in both the hands. Total 5 pen. But I have one lower pen in my left hand side hand. Okay. So when I wanted to make a comparison between my two hand with respect to the item, same item I have, with respect to the same item I have, and I wanted to make a comparison. Can you tell me, Vansika, that how many pen I have in my right hand side, left hand side? She tell me is a 2 and 3. See what is her answer? It's a 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. So right hand to the left hand is nothing but the 2 to 3. So can I tell that, sir, my right hand to left hand pen ratio become 2:3? Can I write, Ranush? Can I tell it's? So see, I made a comparison between my right hand and my left hand. And with respect to the comparison, I make a picture of relationship between my right hand side and the left hand side with respect to the pen I hold. So ratio is nothing but a comparison between two values or establish the relationship between two or more values. It is called the ratio. It is called, sir, ratio. So what I am going to write down it? Write down please once. It is a comparison between two values or establish the relationship between two or more values. So it is a comparison between two values or establish a relationship between two or more values. Then it can say that it's a ratio. Then it can say it's a ratio. Okay. It means you can also write about the ratio. Sir, ratio क्या होता है? How many number one item contain for another one. How many number one item contain for another one? Like my right hand and left hand. 2 to 3 pen. What is the ratio between the pen holding with respect to my hand? Sir, 2 to 3 pen. That is what the ratio says. And now making one interesting analysis of that. See, the ratio itself, the name, एक चीज याद रखना हमेशा. Every chapter name is come up with some logic. Maths is all about the logic. No logic, like sometimes we feel that formula is more than enough for me and we also go with that. But see, the person who prepared this formula has come some logic in his mind or her mind, then the formula can birth. So the ratio itself depict that R stands for relation. A stands for among. Okay, आप लोगों को दिख रहे हैं ना गाइस, रनुशन वंशिका? Yeah. R stands for relation, A stands for among. Okay, T stands for term, TERM, term means item you can say, okay, or values you can say. I, in, okay, and O, objectfully. What does it mean, sir? If I go through all this, relation among, term, in, objectfully. What does it mean? I wanted to know about the pen ratio that I have in right hand and left hand. I have the object in my mind that how many pen I hold. That's why I make some relationship among the right hand side and the left hand side. Because I have some object to show everyone, like a magician will going to show, see in my right hand 2 pen, 3 pen. Now I am going to show you the magic that these both the hand will having 0 pen, then it will get vanished, correct? So that particular magician wanted to show you the relationship between the right hand and left hand and how he or she is going to make the vanish with respect to the magic. So relation among term means values, in, objectfully is called the ratio. That is what the significance of that. Suppose more example, in a school, okay, we have class 11, commerce class is there. Suppose there is boys and girls are there, okay, section A and section B is there. Now both are commerce class and both having same subjects are there in the classes, because let's say 11 class. In the section B, girls sitting, section A, boys sitting. Now I told you that section B we have 30 girls and section A we have 40 boys. So I wanted to know what is the relation between the girls and boys in commerce classes. What is the ratio between the boys and girls in the commerce classes? Ratio means what is the relation? What my answer will be? Sir, the boys and girls are related with respect to the 4:3. Okay, it means what? Do you know it means what? For every 4 boys, there is 3 girls. For every 4 boys, there is 3 girls in the commerce sections. It is not like the ratio होने से खत्म, आपको उसको इंटरप्रेट करने आना चाहिए. For every 4 boys, there is 3 girls in the class. That's why it is known as, sir, 4:3. So for every 4 boys, there is 3 girls. So what is the interpretation? Let's say boys is to girls, is to 4:3. It means for every 4 boys, there is 3 girls in the class. That is what interesting. Clear? So for every 4 boys, there is 3 girls in the class. So that is what the 4:3 ratio actually indicate. Ratio we understand why the ratio is came here, what is the significance of the ratio, how the ratio is built, but we wanted to interpret the ratios among the things. Now suppose there is a one box having 2 pen. Okay, there is another box, it is the first box, you can write here, and there is another box which is having second box, you can say 4 pencil guys. So 2 pen, 4 pencil. Okay, so can I write here that the ratio between the pen and pencil should be 2:4. Pen and pencil in 2:4. It means for every 2 pen in first box, there is 4 pencil in second box. So from here, what interpretation I can make here that for every 2 pen we have 4 pencil. It means if I make more calculation on this and make it what can I say, easier form, it become 1:2. It means for every 1 pen there is counting of 2 pencil. It means एक पेन जो है ना वो 2 पेंसिल के बराबर है. That is what the meaning is, that 1 pen is equal to 2 pencil. Not actually equal to, you can say it's a belongs to 2 pencil. It means for every 1 pen we have 2 pencils. So suppose what I'm going to say you, that suppose I have 5 pen. So how many pencil we need to have with respect to the ratio? Sir, 10. See, it is called common ratios. If you increasing the pen with respect to the pencil, you have to also increase the pencil in the ratio that they have. That is what called ratios, common ratios. We are coming to the latter part. Okay, this is what the understanding of the ratio chapter. The first thing that we need to understand. ठीक है? I believe that is very easy. Correct? It's very very easy. मैं थोड़ा वीडियो ऑफ कर रहा हूँ so that I am going to write down little bit more in the left hand side. मुझे कुछ और भी लिखना है. देखो यहाँ पे क्या क्या और है. 17, 18, 19 है. अच्छा ठीक है. Okay. Now see. Acha. Always remember one thing. Okay. What is that? Ratio exists only between the quantities of same kind. Quantities of same kind. See, pen and pencil more or less gives you the same benefit. Correct? Pen, through pen you can write which cannot be erased out. But through pencil you can erase it, but the writing is going to be same. आप मैं अगर ये वाला पेंसिल यूज करता हूँ और राइट इट डाउन करता हूँ, so obviously I can show you ना. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि आपको समझ में कुछ नहीं आएगा. The same thing we can understand if I write also in pencil. Got it? So see, you need to understand, write it down. Ratio exists only between quantities of same kind. Example, there is no relation, no ratio between age of a boy with weights of another boy, because there is no relation we can exist with respect to the age and weights. Both are different parameter. Age is measured in terms of the number of years you have spent. Weight is measured in terms of with respect to the centimeter, the heights, with respect to the kg or anything else, pound, etc. ठीक है? It is not related to anything else with respect to the age. Age matter नहीं करता. So that is what the one important thing. ठीक है? And another, please write quantities to be compared must be in same unit. Quantities to be compared must be in same unit. Suppose if I tell you that 150 gram multiplied by the and 2 kgs, then it is quite difficult for you to compare this because it's in gram and it's in kg. We can convert kg into gram, but if I not converted it, then the analysis is not successful because unit are not same, unit are different, kg and gram. So what the first thing we are going to do, we just simply do 150 gram and convert the kg into 2000 gram. Then we can easily analyze and make the things very easy, that we have the ratio of, if I do it in 50, so 50 into 3, 150, 50 into 40, 2000. So the ratio becomes 3:40. So remember, quantities to be compared must be in same unit. Same unit होने चाहिए. ठीक है? That is what the thing. Now the again another important point is that order of the term in a ratio is very important. Order means what, sir? See, when I discussing the example of the pen and pencil, then the order you frame, that is pen first and then pencil come the after this. So pen first, pencil after this. So the ratio should have to be like pen is to pencil, not pencil is to pen. Okay. So order is very important. Which value is coming first, which value is coming afterwards. So the value will obviously depict with respect to the pen and pencil and with respect to the order itself. So order of the term in the ratio is very important. That is, you can say 3:4 is not same as 4:3. That's also okay. Star mark. Always remember that whenever you are going to multiply any of the value, you have to multiply the same value or item with the second one also. Suppose if I going to multiply 9 with 3, then also we have to multiply 4 with 9 also. I cannot just multiply 3 into 9 and 4 into 10 like that. Each unit should have to give the same importance and both the term can be multiplied or divide or add or less with the same number. So write down both term can be multiplied or divide or add or less by same number. Like, let's say your ratio become, if I am telling you 18:27, let's say example, if it is 18:27, then what will going to happen? Suppose if your ratio is 18:27, now I wanted to make it small ratio, छोटा करना है मुझे, तो what I am going to do it? Sir, what is a common ratio between them? So if I do the LCF of 18:27, I can do 9 2 ja 18, 9 3 ja 27. So 9 is a common part. So if I divide both the term by 9, it is to obviously this will come in the denominator. Okay, it's a numerator income in denominator is come 27:9 divided by 9. So the ratio comes as 2/3, that is you can say 2:3. See, when I divide this particular 9 with respect to 18 and 27, it has to be same. I am not dividing 18 by 9 and 27 by other number. Both the numbers should have to be same. Whatever you are going to use for shorten the ratio or smaller the ratios. Okay. Whatever the add, divide, multiple, less you are going to use, you need to have the same kind of number to be used for this purpose. That is what important. So these four are very important line with respect to the ratio. Now I am going to come to the most important thing, that is called the terms. See, in a ratio, we are going to use mainly in a ratio, okay, in a ratio we are going to use mainly the two values. One you can say the first, that is a, let's take an example x and is a y. In our example, we have pen and pencil, correct? So the pen you can say x, pencil you can say y. So x and y are the two values that we are going to measure it, the ratio between them. So when x and y are term, definitely it is not like the term, it is having a separate name in the chapter itself, which is called antecedent and consequent, which is called antecedent and consequent. Now let's see, let's suppose we have two values, okay, one is x and another is y, x and y. So if we have two values and I wanted to compare both of them with respect to the ratio analysis, then always remember the first one, that is the x. Always remember the first one, that is the x. It is the first term, it is the second term. Correct? So the first term is actually known as antecedent. What is known as antecedent? Correct? First one is known as the antecedent. So you can write here antecedent, and it is known as the consequent. So in a ratio, the first term is always known as antecedent and the second one is known as a consequent. And remember, both need to be compared when we have same unit, obviously. Like you have, like let's say kg and kg, grams and grams, liters and liters. It's not like that age or weight or height. It's not like that, okay? Both have the same unit. So value having the same unit. Now let's understand why it is called antecedent and why it is called consequent. Why it is called antecedent, why it is called consequent. See, as per the this word, both the word comes like from the Latin word actually. The antecedent word comes from the Latin word which actually means in front of or before. It's a Latin word and it actually means, what does it mean, sir? Actually, it is means before or, sir, in front of. Sir, in front of का मतलब क्या है सर? सामने, which is like just before you. और before का meaning क्या है सर? Obviously, which is comes to you. So before means what is stays in the very first place. And in front of means which is placed in a very first place. In front of means the first one. Before means which is placed in the very beginning. So these are the two words same meaning. So obviously when we are going to do the ratio analysis, the first thing that comes my mind is that the first term. First term means which is comes fast, and that is why it is antecedent. And why is the name is antecedent? Because it is termed as before or in front of. That is why it is termed as antecedent. And consequent means होना, बाद में होना. Consequent बोलते ना, consequent event. It means after happening something, this is going to happen. So consequent event means if something is happened, then this will happen. If I score 80 plus, then my teacher will give me a book of, let's say, goddess, Ramayana, like the Bible, etc. So the consequent event is if I do it, then it will happen. So the consequent means following. The actual meaning is following. As an effect or result. That is what the meaning depicted. Consequent means we are following something as an effect. Due to the first term, our result is this. This is why it is called consequent. It is called consequent. So antecedent is the first one. Consequent is the second term. The consequent will be represented with respect to the antecedent. That's why it is known for every 2 pen we have 4 pencil. For every 2 pen we have 4 pencil. So pencil is signified with respect to the pen we have. So this is what antecedent and consequent. Okay, and remember with respect to x and y, these two are the term. Okay, and term needs to have same unit, but always remember ratio doesn't have any unit. Ratio doesn't have any unit. All the units we have with respect to the values. The value is having the unit, or you can say the term. We don't have any ratio. Suppose if I am going to tell you 2 pen to 4 pencil, it means 2 is to 4. I am not going to write 2 is to 4 pen or pencil. See here, when I calculate this ratio 1 is to 2, I am not going to write any units. But when I elaborate this first term and the second term, then I write 2 pen and 4 pencil. But I am not writing here with respect to the final ratio 1 is to 2, because ratio doesn't have any unit. It's only gives you the relation between the two things with respect to the comparison that we are going to make with respect to antecedent and consequent. Okay, let's see, let's understand some of the more points here. Okay, what is called a duplicate ratio? See, duplicate ratio means obviously the square of the any ratio. Let's say duplicate ratio of A is to B is equal to A square is to B square. Duplicate means square of the ratio. Okay. Now what is a triplicate ratio, sir? Very good. A cube is to B cube, sir. Okay, sir, no problem. Sir, what is subduplicate ratio? Square root of any ratio. Clear? Example लिख लो यहाँ पे. If we have 4 is to 9, so subduplicate ratio is what? 2 is to 3. Root 4 is to root 9. You can get an answer of 2 is to 3. That's all. Next, sir. What is called the inverse ratio? Sir, inverse ratio of x is to y. Inverse, it means inverse. Sir, when the word is termed as inverse, it means your antecedent become consequent, your consequent become antecedent. Okay, so it's terms that x is to y as y is to x. That's all. So inverse ratio of x is to y is termed as y is to x. Okay, now let's understand commensurable ratio. Okay, so what does this actually meaning of the commensurable ratio, sir? Commensurable ratio means that if the terms of the ratio are integers, the ratio is called like commensurable ratio. I am giving you like example. So if the terms of ratio is like integer, okay, please write it down. If the terms, okay, terms is what, sir? X and y, huh? Remember, in our example, A is to B can be. If the terms of ratio are integers, sir, the ratio is called commensurable. Like 3 is to 2. Correct. So what is this called? Integers. What is this called, sir? Integers. Sir, integers means whole number. Either may be positive, negative or 0. So what is this called? Integers. Whole number. Either it can be positive or negative or 0. Correct. So whole number is what is called integers. So commensurable ratio we understand. So what do you understand the incommensurable ratio, which is not an integer? The ratio is called incommensurable, like root 3 is to root 2 or root 7 is to root 3, like that. Okay, so see, it is not like that. See, if you do root 3 is to root 2, so suppose give an example. In commensurable ratio, so it means when the terms are not presented, when the terms are not presented as integers, it is called incommensurable ratio. Like let's say root 7 is to root 4. When you sorry, you can say root 7 is to root 3. So if you are going to make this, then it will get answer you some different. Let's say root 7 कर लो आप, क्या देखोगा आंसर देखो, it will give you 2.64. So it is not an integer, because integer cannot be a fraction, correct? So root 7 is to root 3 is an incommensurable ratio because it's a fractional item and coming. So these are the basic viewpoints. Okay, we have covered it out. Till now everyone is clear, guys? ठीक है, अच्छा, चलिए, more things we need to understand, the more points here. Please make a note of that. If a quantity increases, see, if a quantity increases or decreases in the ratio x is to y, then the new quantity will be, see, if a quantity increases or decreases in the ratio x is to y, it is quite possible any quantity be up or any quantity be left, like x, it can increase or y can increase or decrease, then the new quantity should have to be is equal to, okay, see what is the formula, y of the original quantity okay, y of the original quantity, it divided by the x, okay. So if any quantity increases and decreases in the ratio of x is to y, then we have to get the new quantity by getting or solving this formula, y of the original quantity by x. Let's make an example, see and one example of this, एक example करके समझ लेते हैं इसको. Write down Mr. X, okay, heights 140 centimeter, okay. If he wants to increase his heights in the ratio of 3:4, find the new height. Let's check what is written with respect to the question itself. Mr. X is having a height of 140 centimeter. If he wants to increase his height in the ratio of 3:4, so he is having a height and he wanted to change his height with respect to this ratio only. Find the new heights of him if you wanted to change it, correct? So guys, a quantity is what? A quantity is weight here, height here, sorry. So here the original height is what, sir? Original heights is what, sir? 140, correct? So if it is 140, then he wanted to increase what? Just a minute, 1 minute just. ठीक है. Want to increase how much, sir? 3:4. Okay, want to increase in, you can just please write in 3:4 ratio. So what will be the new heights? What is the new height, sir? See, what is written? Y of the original quantity or heights. So y means here ratio is 4. So 4 of original quantity is what? 140. Correct? And what is the x here? 3. See, the ratio is x3. So make it divide. 4 into 140 divided by 3. You will get an answer of 186.67. So if he wanted to increase his height to increase from 140 centimeter with respect to the basically 3:4, then how we can increase this? So suppose, let's say, how this ratio has been derived here actually. X is nothing but the includes the original heights here. Okay, x is nothing but includes the original heights. So in the given case, 140 centimeter depicted, it's equal to the 3 in the ratio, and 4 is what we need to calculate. So if I am going to say you that 3:4 means what? We have height of 140 centimeter and I wanted to increase in a 3:4 ratio. It means what? I have already 140 centimeter with respect to the ratio 3 only, and I wanted to increase to that is of 4. So if anything is equal to 3, what will be is equal to 4? That is what the ratio is actually says. That's why I use a unitary method. If 3 is equal to 140, then what will be the 1? It's equal to 140 by 3. And then what is the 4? Then it's 4 into 140 by 3. So see, I use the unitary method. If 3 is equal to 140 centimeter as per the ratio, what is the 1 is equal to 140 by 3, then what will be? It's actually 4. So 140 into 4 by 3, that's what I am doing, and get the answer. So when it means 140 centimeter is equivalent to 3, then 4 is equal to 186.67 centimeter. Clear, sir? Guys, clear है? Done है ना? Chalo, very good. Let's do 3/4 sums so that we can get not so clarity, confident mainly. ठीक है, क्लैरिटी आ जाएंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, सम्स करते करते पूरा आ जाएंगे आपको. चलो लेट्स डू ऑन टू सम्स यार. हाँ टेल मी. You can use this calculator only, no scientific calculator. Okay, you cannot use it. सी, चलिए आगे बढ़ते एक बार. अब क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते थोड़ा समझते. लेट्स से एग्जांपल नंबर 2. Okay, number 1, we need to first understand how we are going to convey the concept, because these all are concepts we have learned: triplicate, subduplicate, duplicate, okay, inverse, everything. So let's do it one first. Find, copy with me, find triplicate ratio of 4:5. Find the triplicate ratio 4:5. So it's very easy, sir. So your triplicate ratio is nothing but 4 cube is to 5 cube. We need to make a cube only. 4 cube stands for 64. 5 cube stands for 125. Done, sir. Example 3. Okay. Suppose if for a ratio is 3:4. Suppose there is a ratio is 3:4. If, sorry, antecedent is 15, then what is the value of consequent. So if for a ratio is 3:4 and if antecedent is 15, then what is the value of consequent? That we need to understand. So if 3:4 is there and if antecedent is 15, then consequent is the value of that. See, in case of 3:4, if I make a solution of that, it is antecedent and it is consequent. I make a short abbreviation for understanding purpose. So it is antecedent consequent. So suppose if antecedent become 15, I wanted to calculate what is my consequent, correct? Just think one point. I have already told you that both the value or both the terms should be increased by same unit, correct? Both the terms should be increased by the same number, same unit. So if let's say 3 become 15, how 3 become 15? When you multiply 3 with 5, correct? So if you multiply 3 by 5, then only 3 become 15 as an antecedent. So what will be the consequent? You need to multiply 4 with 5, correct? Then it become 20. So the answer of the consequent is nothing but yours 20. Okay? So consequent is 20. So remember, both the terms should be multiply, divide, add or less with the same term. Example number 4. If consequent is 36 in the above ratio, means this one इसके बारे में बोल रहा है, it is continuing. If consequent is 36 in the above ratio, then what is antecedent? बताइए. If your consequent is 36 in the above ratio, then what will be your antecedent? Let's make it there 3:4, and we know that what is your consequent, that is 36. I know that. See, if 4 become 36, means 4 has been multiplied with what? Which ratio? Common ratio 9. So definitely 3 should be multiplied with what? 9. So your antecedent become 27. Got it? So remember always the common things that we used in example 3 and example for both. Here it is 5 and here it is 9. This common term or value which is multiplied with both the term to get a new antecedent and consequent is called common ratio. What is called? Common ratio, sir. Tell me, Anish. Hmm. 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 No, if it is 37, then it is not possible to calculate because every ratio should have some common ratio. So if you take it as a 37, then 4 cannot be become 37 with respect to common ratio, because until and unless there is a common ratio exist, you cannot convert antecedent or consequent any further number. It should have some common ratios there. If it is there, like let's say 42, it's not possible. It's 44, it's quite possible. 4 to 11. So common ratio should exist to convert a new antecedent or consequent from the older one. Okay, and the term you are using for divide, for subtraction, for addition, for multiplication with the antecedent and consequent is called common ratio. Got it? That is what the fundamental. ठीक है? चलो एग्जाम्पल नंबर 5 करते हैं. last one. Example number 5 क्या है? Simplify, हाँ. 1 by 8 is to 1 by 6. See, I am not satisfied with this ratio. I wanted to make a ratio like 3 is to 4, 2 is to 3 like that. I am not satisfied with this breakup. मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. I am not happy with that. So if I wanted to convert or make simplify this particular ratio, what we need to do? First we need to do a LCM, okay, of both the term. LCM of both the term. वो मुझे सबसे पहले निकालना पड़ेगा. क्या निकालना पड़ेगा? Of LCM. वो एक बार निकाल लेते, ठीक है? We have to calculate it, and you can say like common factor that we need to calculate. That is what important. Okay. So चलो LCM निकाल लेते हैं पहले एक बार. What is the LCM? निकालो. 8 and 6 का 2 2 जा 4, 2 2 जा 3. So 2 4 8 3 24. I find that 24 is what? 24 is the common like LCM actually. Like 24 is the LCM between them. Okay. So if we going to calculate the LCM here, so suppose what we are going to do it in that particular ratio. If I am going to find out, we have 8 in below this and we have 6 to below this. We have is 2. So common ratio is what's that? 24. So you can say least common multiplier, correct? That is what the meaning. So ये 24 है ना, कैसे इसको सॉल्व करेंगे? सिंप्लीफाई कैसे करेंगे? हाउ आई एम गोइंग टू सॉल्व इट? बोलो कैसे सॉल्व कर सकते हैं इसको? सर क्वाइट इजी. इट इज मल्टीप्लाई ना, डू मल्टीप्लाई इन बोथ द केस. Just multiply it. If we have the least common multiplier, it's 24. Do multiply it. It will help you a lot. Multiply कर दो, क्या होगा देखो. So हाँ 24. So इसको क्या आएगा देखो 4. It will क्या आएगा देखो 3. Correct? So see your ratio become 3 is to 4. Solve. Now I am going to prove it. Huh? How it is 3 is to 4? I am going to prove it. Let's see. Do you know? Out of 100, 3 means what? If I am going to give you one example, 3 means what? 3 means is nothing but that if we have the 1 by 8 and 1 by 6, okay, if I am going to solve it, so सोचो इसका कैसे आएगा? 8 and 6 है ना, so just reverse it out. Sir, reverse it out. If 1 by 8 is to 1 by 6, if I reverse it out, it will giving a cross multiplication. It will give a cross multiplication. So it is become 6 is to 8. Like this and this as per the mathematical terms. Cross multiplication will be happen with respect to the ratios. It will get reverse. So when 6 is to 8 is that 3 is to 4. It's also a technique, but believe me, sometime it will be easy for you to do it in exam rather than this. It's quite convenient. Okay, so आपको ये करना है. This one. Do calculate the LCM and multiply in above the case. And sometime let's see, it's not everything like multiplier. Sometime you can also divide, add or subtract. Depends on the sums. Okay. In the given question, it all about the multiplier. So it is easy. And you have the option also, shortcut option. Just do it. Cross multiplication. 6 to 1, 6. 8 to 1, 8. You get 3 to 4. Solve, sir. Guys, clear एकदम पूरा? Very good. So we have understand basic part of the ratio and proportion, and you have done it. Okay, let's continue. Okay, it in the next class. And thank you guys for attending the class and giving us support by giving the answers and a very interactive session. Thank you. Let's meet in the next class, guys. Thank you.